You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm Christine Nicholas. I'm the chair of the New York State Tourism Advisory Council, and I would like to call the meeting to order. It is now 12:02. Just a reminder for those conferencing in, please place yourselves on mute to eliminate any background noise during the meeting. And if you'd like to say something, feel free to unmute yourself to speak. That's for our friends zooming in. First off, welcome to Rochester, the Strong Museum. We're thrilled to be here. I'm excited to welcome Don Jeffries, the president and CEO of Visit Rochester. Don has done so much to support tourism over the many years. I've had the pleasure of working with him on golf tournaments and openings of certain, various things. So thank you so much for joining us today, and we'd love for you to say some words.
Thank you very much. We are thrilled that the Advisory Council comes to Rochester. Christine, nice to see you again, and everyone else in the room, welcome. And as you know, tourism is a $1.5 billion industry here, 20,000 jobs. So we're an economic engine, as you all know, and we're very proud of it. I want to give a shout out to Sarah Poe and Steve Dubnik, who run our largest tourism attraction, and they've done a wonderful job with that. 500,000 people come through here every year.
Wow.
Through this facility, so take that, Niagara Falls.
Well, thank you, Don. We really do feel the warmth of your welcome. And speaking of welcome, we are so pleased to be here at the Strong. Steve Dubnik and your team, Sarah, everybody, you've done such a great job. This is my second visit here. I was last here, has to be about 8 years ago, and I was followed around by 3 kids. One of whom is in college right now. She just texted me because she saw me on the Life 360 and she said, "Where are you?" And I said, "Rochester." And she said, "Oh, wow," because she has such great memories of Rochester. I said, "And I'm at the Strong Museum." She goes, "I had the best time." And she goes, "Is that the place where I was going to a little market?" And she couldn't remember Wegmans, the name, but she said, "And I had the cart." And sure enough, 19 years old, and she still remembers that as such one of her positive memories. So thank you, Steve. We'd love to have you speak at our, wonderful meeting that we are so happy to have here.
Well, thank you. And again, I'll extend, repeat Don's welcome to you all, to Rochester and to the Strong Museum. We are delighted to have you here, and the Wegmans supermarket is one of our top attractions in the museum.
Good.
But, if you were here 8 years ago, you haven't seen much of our 90,000 square foot expansion,
Right.
The parking garage, and a lot of other things we added as part of that very major project here. And Don, not only do we have 500,000 people coming a year, we have more than 700,000 people coming per year, which for tourism perspectives, about 45% of that comes from outside the Rochester MSA, and of that number, about half of that comes from outside New York State. Wow. So we really do draw a lot of people to the Rochester area, the Finger Lakes area. I'm very proud to be part of that and greatly appreciate all the assistance we get from New York State with that. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So with that, I am now going to take attendance for those joining via video conference. What I'll do is I'll read from the RSVP list that I have, and you can let us know if you are here. So let's see. We have Assembly Member Ron Kim. Are they muted right now?
They can unmute themselves.
They can unmute yourself, okay.
So I'm
all
not
right.
sure he's here.
Okay, all right. Katie Kilikowski and Josh Geller on behalf of Senator Serrano.
We are both here. Thank you so much for having us.
Terrific, thank you for being with us. George and Tim from the Marriott Marquis in New York City. Is George with us?
Not
He was on earlier, yes, so he may have just ran an errand. Natasha Caputo from Westchester. Good morning, Natasha. Catherine Nichols.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Alexandra Stanton. I saw her earlier, too. Okay, all right, but she was with us earlier. David Filipiak.
I am here.
Hi, David.
Hi there.
Michael Oates.
I'm here. Hello, everyone.
All right, terrific. Any TAC members who may not have RSVP'd but are joining us? I know Eleanor Tatum let me know that she was under the weather, so wasn't able to make it. And Barbara Lee Diamond Steel Spielvogel, is she joining us? No, okay.
So then let's go
All
in
right,
the
so then
room.
let's go around the room. I will start with Ross.
Thank you. I'm Ross Levi. I'm the Executive Director of the New York State Division of Tourism and a Vice President at Empire State Development. Great to be here in Rochester and at the Strong.
I'm Rhiannon. I'm with I Love New York, Manager of Tourism Policy Programs, and thank you so much for having us and all your hard work helping us put the meeting together. It's been really great.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dan Fuller from Bristol Mountain and Roseland Water Park, only 45 minutes away, so it was a wonderful commute this morning.
I'm Olga Lustorado, originally the head of the Bronx Tourism Council. Now I have my own PR agency, O Communications, and I'm 6 hours away, so I really wanted to be here.
Rich Gagliano, Senior Vice President of Marketing at Empire State Development, and I always love visiting Rochester and the Strong Museum, so I'm looking forward to the meeting and especially the tour afterwards.
And the shopping.
And the food.
Sarah Emmert, Senior Director of Tourism Policy and Operations with I Love New York. I grew up in Rochester, and my parents still live here. I actually grew up coming to the Strong. And my parents are bringing my daughter to play today, and then we're driving back home to Albany afterwards. So, yeah, bringing tourism with work.
I'm Gary Hahn, Vice President Marketing at the National Comedy Center, and happy to be here.
Good morning, everyone. I'll add my welcome to Rochester. I'm Greg Marshall, founder of Genesee Journeys, and those of you that would like to know more about that, happy to share that with you at an appropriate time.
We never hear from our amazing media services team at ESD, and they've come all the way, so they should introduce themselves as well.
Yes, definitely.
Alan Andrichin, videographer, producer, director, whatever.
Kurt Warner, ESD Albany, videographer.
Rick Machon, I guess I'm in charge of the service. A legend.
Oh, and Sarah. Oh.
Hi, everybody. Sarah Poe from the Strong Museum. Thank you so much.
Sarah. Yeah, absolutely.
Good morning, Diana Keating. I'm the Vice President of Marketing at Visit Rochester. And just to tie back to the mini Wegmans, we had a German tour operator and media fan this past Friday here at the Strong. Throughout their travels across New York State, they had been to a Wegmans, so imagine their surprise when they saw the mini store. They were beside themselves, playing cashier, shopping. They had the best time, so it's really fun.
Thanks. Well, that's terrific. All members have been emailed a copy of the minutes. They're also available on the ESD website. So are there any changes to the minutes? Okay, none being heard. Motion to approve the minutes? Okay, Olga and Dan, second. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
And any opposed? I should do it that way. Okay, I see hands. I don't, but no opposed. Okay, so the motion carries, minutes are approved. So I will give a brief update. It's been a very busy summer since we last met, and there have been several tourism-related announcements made by Governor Hochul. First, there have been a number of expansions and improvements in the state's outdoor recreation assets. up in Ulster, I guess from here I have to say down in Ulster County. Last month, the governor announced that 291 additional acres were added to Minnewaska State Park Preserve in Ulster County, helping conserve an important section in the northern Shawangunk Mountains and making it available for outdoor recreation. Additionally, New York State acquired 900 acres in Ulster County, forming the largest addition to the Catskill Forest Preserve in more than a decade. This increases recreational opportunities on the north end of the park and protects important views from the park and the adjacent Rondout Valley. Also in Ulster, expansive upgrades at the Peekamoose Blue Hole are now complete, enhancing safety and accessibility. Also in August, the governor announced the launch of a $25 million rehabilitation project at the 115-year-old Bear Mountain State Park in the Hudson Valley. The project will update infrastructure, create new accessible playground, expand picnic areas, and add public restrooms. Bear Mountain State Park features more than 50 miles of hiking trails, including the original section of the Appalachian Trail. It also includes fishing access, a swimming pool, and trailside museum, and a zoo. More than 2.3 million visited Bear Mountain last year, and this investment ensures the park's facilities will serve generations to come. Closer to here, in Buffalo, in June, Buffalo and Erie County Botanical Gardens broke ground on its long-anticipated expansion. The $31 million project, which receives significant state support, will include upgrades to the Welcome Center, a garden cafe, and accessibility initiatives. It is also expected to be completed in early 2027. Also in Buffalo, Governor Hochul announced the completion of the $11 million Wilkinson Point Improvements Project, which expands access to the waterfront and enhances the visitor experience. The 7-acre site also features a new restaurant with a beer garden that features sand seating areas as well as a patio deck with waterfront views. Okay, moving to Albany. A previous TAC meeting host, the Albany Convention Center Authority, was awarded a $10 million grant to support the expansion of Albany Capitol Center and further its mission as the premier Capital Region event and meeting destination. The project will expand meeting space and add amenities that position the center to better serve the growing industry demands. Since opening in 2017, the Albany Cap Center has hosted more than 1,100 events, which attracted more than 630,000 visitors to the capital city, generating nearly $100 million in total new visitor spending and adding over 133,000 hotel room nights. And Rich, you might enjoy this going downstate a bit. Earlier this summer, the governor announced the return of Long Island Railroad and Metro North Railroad's Summer Saturdays. It's a discount program that on Saturdays in July and August, monthly ticket holders were able to bring up to 2 additional travelers for only $1 per person each way. The program encourages riders to travel and explore different towns on the railways and allows travelers to see new destinations, avoid traffic, and bring friends and family. And in airport news, Governor Hochul recently announced that the passenger experience enhancements were completed at Syracuse Hancock International Airport, creating a world-class travel hub that will support the entire region. New features include the expanded North Concourse with additional seating and concession areas. The project also renovated the second floor of the terminal building to expand the Federal Inspection Station facility. Work has also been completed on the transformation of the Greater Binghamton Airport into a modern state-of-the-art gateway that will welcome travelers and will also serve as a regional economic engine. The project reimagined the main terminal to improve passenger flow while immersing visitors into the natural aesthetics of the surroundings. The airport's main approach road was also redeveloped. The governor also announced the completion of a project at Saratoga County Airport that substantially upgraded the facilities and services, further positioning the region for economic growth and expanded tourism. The reimagined airport features a new terminal building that boasts a spacious lobby, a new passenger waiting area, car rental space, a pilot's lounge and restaurant, along with brand new adjacent 20,000 square foot hangar, among other upgrades. I had the opportunity this summer, to visit the Great New York State Fair in Syracuse. So it was just a fabulous experience, as I always remembered it from years ago. So I was able to also witness the I Love New York activation setup in the Expo Center for the duration of the fair, which had people lined up to learn about the travel destinations across the state and also win some cool New York, I Love New York prizes. I sent some photos, but I guess the lines were huge because it was great. I mean,
I was there opening day at 8 a.m. There were people.
the activations were terrific. So well done to the team there. You'll hear more about the fair from Ross. So moving to the 250th Commemoration Commission meeting, which I attended in August. It was August 12th. We had multiple sites connected virtually. I was in New York City at the Gotham Center, and Ross, you were up in Albany. So the main points of the meeting were to use the state budget appropriations and how that funding will be allocated. There will be a meeting tomorrow. We're going to take some votes tomorrow on the actual budget. That meeting will be held tomorrow in Albany. Ross and I will be heading back to attend. Those meetings are public. Olga, I know you've been very involved with the unknown, the untold stories, which is really important part of our storytelling, our narrative of the 250th. So as more details come about from the meeting, and I think tomorrow will be an important meeting because it'll set forth the budget. I'm happy to share that with you all, and I'll see many of you probably on the Zoom. So that concludes my report. So Ross, I'm going to send it over to you.
Great, thank you so much.
Sure.
Wonderful to be here. As always, the I Love New York team has been very happy over the past few years to start this practice of bringing a couple of TAC meetings a year outside New York City and even outside Albany. So we were thrilled to be here. It requires a little extra work on our team's part, so I do want to give a thanks to Rick and his team for media services, and especially Rhianna Edlin. She starts working months ahead of time to work with the venue, in this case, the Strong, who have been such great partners, to work through the AV issues, make sure all the tech is aware. So thank you, Rhianna, for all the work to make that happen. We want to continue doing this so the tech gets to experience all the great things you hear about here. So stay tuned for next year. At the next meeting, you'll get to hear the big reveal of where we're thinking about for next year. Since our last tech meeting, we shared with our local tourism partners the 2024 New York State tourism numbers, as contained in the report that we commission every year from Tourism Economics. The TPAs rely on this data to inform their marketing strategies and make the case for tourism investment with their stakeholders. A number of them reached out to us after we sent out the reports to thank us for continuing to provide this valuable tool to them. So we're very happy that we're able to do that. The tourism numbers for 2024 were all positive. Last year, New York State welcomed an all-time high 315.4 million visitors, who directly spent $94 billion, that's with a B, and generated $145 billion in total economic impact. Those are both records as well. Visitor volume increased almost 3% year over year, and visitor spending increased by more than $6 billion, representing an almost 7% growth year over year. State and local tax revenues generated by tourism, that's where the rubber hits the road, save the average New York State household nearly $1,500 in taxes. So if anyone ever asks you, well, why are my tax dollars going for that tourism and those commercials, you can tell them because it's saving your household $1,500 you otherwise would be paying in taxes. Tourism remains the state's second largest private sector employer, supporting an average of 924,000 jobs in 2024. Now, obviously, the 2025 numbers won't be available until around this time next year. We are obviously, as you've heard at prior tax meetings, currently aware of the headwinds that the tourism industry is facing, and the New York State Division of Tourism and the I Love New York program is constantly optimizing marketing efforts to maximize overall performance to address those issues so that we can have the numbers be as strong as they can be. For example, one of those efforts that hopefully you all heard about, we launched an initiative on July 1st in conjunction with Canada Day, the big holiday in Canada, We shared graphics on our website. You can see it up there, the New York Heart Canada graphic. Shared that on our website and on social media with the message, on Canada Day, New York State celebrates our Canadian neighbors. Now, unlike our regular marketing efforts, this was not shared with the specific intent necessarily to encourage travel. That wasn't really the impetus. Rather, we wanted to showcase the long-standing special relationship between Canada and New York State. We want Canadians to know that New York State deeply values our friendship. It's 138 years long. 158 years long. It's weathered good times and bad times before, and we know it's not diminishing anytime soon. So in order to make that message as loud as we possibly could, we encourage partners from around the state to join us in this effort. So many different attractions, TPAs, DMOs, and state agency partners shared this message through a variety of efforts themselves, from social media to the lightings of buildings and landmarks. You can see some examples here on the screen. Participating partners included ORDA, the Olympic Regional Development Authority, the New York State Tourism Industry Association, NYSTIA, NYC Tourism and Conventions, the Times Square Alliance, Visit Rochester, of course, the Wild Center in the Adirondacks, the Thousand Islands Seaway, Oswego County Tourism, and the Buffalo Bills. They did a video, actually, which was very cool. So thanks to some of our targeted media outreach that we did to promote the fact that we were doing this. The campaign received attention from Canadian outlets, including Travel Industry Today, Canadian Travel Press, and TV 12 Brockville, Ontario. So we were very happy to be able to do this and send a genuine message of love and support to our northern neighbors. That was a good kickoff to summer, but as always, we had a very robust summer marketing campaign. At our last meeting, we previewed some of those efforts. For example, we discussed our new tagline, New York State, Everything You Love. But we didn't get to show the commercials last meeting, so we wanted to show them to you now that have been running throughout the summer travel season.
This summer in New York State, there's everything to love. From cityscapes to green lakes. Whatever moves you, inspires you, recharges you, you'll find it here. New York State, everything you love. Plan your summer getaway at iloveny.com. New York State, it's everything this summer. Quality time on mountain hikes, building memories, beach days they'll never forget. Whatever you're chasing, it's here. Are you ready? New York State, everything you love. Plan your summer getaway at iloveny.com.
So we were excited that those started running very early, right after Memorial Day.
Around like a couple days.
Yeah.
Start Tuesday?
Something like that, and then ran through just a few weeks ago. So we were excited to be on air during that whole time.
And scored we just heard this a couple days ago, record high favorability, consumer favorability scores. So beating last year's record. So we've got
That's good. Great. Besides our traditional drive markets that we always market to aggressively, we also wanted to extend a special invitation to international visitors, especially Canada. This included broadcast spots and out-of-home marketing running in different international markets, some of which is actually continuing into the fall. So we were excited to be able to do consumer-facing marketing in international markets. That's not something we've done a lot of. Most of our international work focuses on trade, so we're excited to be able to move to consumer as well. Our summer campaign also included the largest ever mobile tour with over 40 stops throughout the Northeast, where our experiential marketing team was out there at all kinds of events. You'll be hearing about that at future meetings as they wrap up that tour. We also published summer-themed blogs, including 25 things to do this summer in New York State and 13 ways to soak in the last days of summer in New York State, and created our usual summer content on social media, prompting viewers to visit our website and plan their trip. Summer is also when our segment tourism programs are running at full speed. They're all year round, but summer is a key time for them, making a special travel invitation to strategically important market segments. So this summer, for example, Accessible New York partnered with 2 influencers who enjoyed trips to the Adirondacks and the Finger Lakes and shared them with their million-plus combined followers. Tara Shedderfly, a content creator based out of Virginia who uses a wheelchair, traveled to the Finger Lakes to experience adaptive outdoor adventures. She spent time hiking in an action-track chair in Cortland, adaptive kayaking with Rochester Accessible Adventures in Fairport, and trying out the adaptive mountain bike available through the town of Victor. These were pretty amazing. Look for yourself. We want to show you one of the videos she did.
Rick, do you mind playing the video on the left? Can you click play on that?
I don't think that's a command in it.
Oh, all right. I'll keep going, but hopefully we'll get that video for you. And if not, we'll send you a link afterwards. These are really terrific. They were very engaged, lots of positive feedback about New York. In addition to Tara, we also invited Melanie Druble and her son Hudson, who has Down syndrome, to come to the Adirondacks for a family adventure. Along with the videos cross-posted to both Instagram and TikTok, we also published corresponding blogs, put out paid advertising behind the posts, and conducted a survey from campaign viewers. We're still waiting for the final report, but engagement with both creators was high, and the reception was incredibly positive. People, as you can see some of the comments online, they were very impressed with how accessible New York State was. And so we saw this as a very successful effort.
I think we got the video.
Okay, let's see if we got the video.
I drove 8 hours to New York, and this is why. People don't expect wheelchair users to love the outdoors, but I've never felt more free than I did on this trip. If you didn't know, Ithaca has the cutest downtown, fully accessible shops with a great hotel and a lively community at the Ithaca Farmers Market with amazing locally produced goods. Even in the rain, we hiked to the tallest waterfall in New York, which was so worth it. There's even nearby waterfalls you can see from the parking lot or through other short paved paths. We did a little exploring at the wonderful Cornell Botanic Gardens. I also got to try a lot of things for the first time, including this action track chair, thanks to Lime Hollow Nature Reserve, and going to my very first winery with a grape juice and chocolate flight. We fed the cutest alpacas, not to mention my very first massage at the beautiful lake house and sandbar, which was so fun. After our drive to the lakeside Canandaigua, we were able to visit the stunning Sonnenberg Gardens, went adaptive kayaking, one of the best ways for disabled people to experience nature, in my opinion. As if that wasn't enough, we also got to borrow this amazing adaptive mountain bike. Overall, if you're disabled and think nature isn't for you, I promise it can be. I have never felt more included than I did in the Finger Lakes region of New York. Thank you, I Love New York, for making it possible. Plan your own trip at iloveny.com.
So, it was really great. I think it was that viewer who also went kind of on a side trip we sent her to a universal playground, a universally accessible playground in Canandaigua. Is that right, Sarah?
Motion Junction.
Right, Motion Junction in Canandaigua. She was so impressed that she did an extra video that we didn't even, wasn't included in the package, right?
5 extra videos.
Oh, 5.
She was so impressed.
Wow.
Yeah.
She went, because really, we only contracted her for the reel and 2-story frames, and she was so impressed, especially with the adaptive mountain biking and especially Rochester Accessible Adventures, which I think are real standouts in the industry for accessibility, that she posted it, and they went viral.
Yeah. So congrats and thanks particularly to Sarah and Rhiannon and our digital team. This obviously is a lot of work coordinating these things, so we are excited to do it. We are looking forward to actually having another influencer on an accessible trip to New York next month, so that way we're not only focusing on summer, but also fall as well. Accessible New York also activated at 2 events this summer, the Western New York Disability Pride in Buffalo and the Disability Unite Festival in Central Park. The main goal for Accessible New York activations is to connect directly with consumers from the community and provide awareness that New York State has accessible travel opportunities for them. It's obviously great, to do things through social media, but going to people in person is a great opportunity as well. Both activations saw positive reception, and we will continue to consider future Accessible New York events. Accessible New York also launched its first ever newsletter in July with a focus on accessible outdoor adventure in New York State, a spotlight on the Wild Center, and a list of accessible events around the state. The goal of the newsletter was to drive its over 11,000 recipients to the accessible landing page on our website, which is double the number of recipients since December. So we're very excited that this list is sort of growing exponentially. This is a community that talks to each other. They are very happy to travel to places that they know are going to be great experiences with us. So the fact that we can double our rate shows that, right? That double the number of people that want to hear from us about what there is to do, and we're thrilled to be able to provide this newsletter to them. It saw similar performance rates as our other segments, and another newsletter will be coming this fall. Speaking of other segments, obviously summer is a big time for I Love New York LGBTQ. We had another successful Pride season in New York State, with celebrations taking place from Long Island to Buffalo and literally everywhere in between. In May, we launched a digital media campaign to promote LGBTQ travel. This year, the campaign expanded focus beyond Pride Month to not make it just about Pride events, but to promote summer travel from May through July. The campaign included paid social media ads on Facebook and Instagram, a search campaign, editorial placement in Passport Magazine's email newsletter, and syndication of our Pride Guide. We also launched an out-of-home tactic, which you can see on the screen, known as wild posting. Those of us who have been doing marketing for a long time remember it's been around for a while, which is about LGBTQ campaign posters placed in this case, LGBTQ-friendly neighborhoods and hotspots in New York City. The campaign messaging encouraged extending Pride celebrations into a summer getaway. We thought we were pretty cute that we said Pride today, camp tomorrow. Get it? Camp. We continued to promote Pride through the summer with new blogs, social media posts, email outreach. ilovenewyork.com had 100 Pride events listed on our website. That's the most the program has ever seen. Last year, there were 65 Pride events on the website. This year, there was 100. For those of us that have been doing LGBTQ work for many years, I remember when it was 5 big cities, so to see this growth over a few decades is inspiring on a number of different levels. I Love New York LGBTQ also activated at 7 events, including at New York City Pride, Harlem Pride, Pride in the Sky in the Hudson Valley, World Pride in Washington, D.C. We went to World Pride to promote travel to New York, and a recent activation just a couple weeks ago in the Fire Island Pines and Cherry Grove, where I was at. In total, our activation saw over 28,000 unique impressions coming to see us at events as part of our tour. The last of these activations was at Pride Day at the Great New York State Fair, as Christine was talking about earlier. This was the 10th anniversary of New York State being the first state fair in the nation with an official day for the LGBTQ community. So I was thrilled to be back there. I believe myself, the woman who organizes it, are the only 2 people who have been to all 10 that we know of. So it was great to be back there. My colleague Rachel Stewart was there as well. It was held in partnership with Fair New York and closed out our season to bring the I Love New York tour to fairgoers. And with summer coming to a close, we're looking ahead to the Pride celebrations after the summer, which will include Winter Pride in both the Adirondacks and the Catskills. So stay tuned for that coming up. The I Love New York Black Travel Program conducted its first paid summer campaign, inspiring visitors to book a summer getaway. The campaign ran for just under a month and produced over 59,000 landing page views, proving successful in influencing engagement patterns. You may remember that Black Travel launched a consumer newsletter initiative in the beginning of the year with the goal to send quarterly seasonal newsletters to interested consumers. The second newsletter was indeed issued in June, promoting music, festivals, and other summer fun. Black Travel also activated at 3 summer events, including Buffalo Juneteenth, Harlem Pride, with cross-promotion for LGBTQ, and the Black Arts and Culture Festival in Albany. For the second year, Black Travel will be activating at Yard Fest at MetLife Stadium for the New York, New Jersey Historically Black Colleges and Universities Homecoming event. This will be the first year doing a takeover of the event's newsletter aimed directly at homecoming attendees to highlight some destinations across the state and particularly close to the city. The curated newsletter will encourage visitors to extend their time in New York and explore other areas of the state. Path Through History is very busy in summer. A successful Path Through History weekend took place over Father's Day weekend in June, with over 140 events taking place at attractions all across the state, presented by 130 different organizations in literally all 11 vacation regions. Post-event survey responses from participating sites indicated that many tours were sold out, so that's great news. The weekend was busier than usual, and that new visitors attended the sites and events. It's really a great cultivation event for these attractions. It's really a hook to bring people in who otherwise might not be exposed to them. Approximately 70% of sites saw expected or greater than expected attendance with positive feedback from visitors. In addition to numerous owned and organic promotional efforts, we launched a paid digital campaign to direct traffic to the Path Through History weekend calendar and blog post with the intention of increasing attendance at the events. This included Facebook and Instagram ads as well as syndication. Shifting the budget from print to paid social has proved highly successful. We did a pilot where we tried to do this in some print publications, but we found that 75% of web traffic to the Path Through History weekend calendar during the 4-week campaign was driven by social media. So 75% of the people that went there saw it first through our social media campaign. Visits to the Path Through History weekend getaways in the New York State blog showed increases from last year, and syndication click-through rates also improved. So we're looking forward to the fall Path Through History weekend, which is coming up October 11th through 13th during New York State History Month. So by all means, go to ilovenewyork.com/paththroughhistory and find out what's happening around the state. Some exciting events include Mysteries, Myths, and Mayhem at Fort Stanwix National Monument in Rome, an immersive program at the Southampton History Museum, and Siege Living History Weekend at the Saratoga Battlefield. Everyone loves a reenactor, so that'll be happening there. So I want to talk, of course, about our trade work. We have been busy with travel trade, of course, over this period, and have attended several important shows. As we do every year, of course, we're at IPW, probably one of our biggest trade show activations of the year, this year in Chicago, with 9 New York State partners. We had our branded aisle, as we have for a couple of years now. You can see it there on the screen, which included an I Love New York co-op booth, hosted with our attending partners. Over the 3 days, we met with over 175 buyers. That's why we do these shows. Like, you're not going to see 175 people and talk to them about offering New York State product, except at a great show like IPW. With the help of 60 TPAs, DMOs, New York State attractions, and staff, we hosted an evening reception as well to have kind of a more casual environment in the evening at the legendary Second City in Chicago, with 160 interested buyers and travel journalists joining us in attendance. The theme was, it's Second City. You know why it's called Second City, right? The theme was, for the first city, to give our guests an authentic taste of the Second City. The event was very well attended and received. Somehow I got to be the opening act. It was so now I could check that off my bucket list. Thank you. Greg was there as well. Thank you, Greg. We also attended this year's SIDA, the Student Youth Travel Association Conference in Savannah. Our travel trade consultant represented I Love New York and conducted 28 appointments with top youth and student planners, which obviously the student groups are really important for New York State destinations. I Love New York was a premier sponsor of the New York City Tourism and Conventions Dine Around event at SIDA. Again, we like to do both the daytime trade show and something in the evening to engage folks in a more casual setting. We had logo placement around the venue and a QR code to our sales kit placed at each table setting. The most recent show we attended was Connect Marketplace in Miami. Our consultant attended and conducted appointments with top event planners and buyers on behalf of I Love New York. Over the 2 days, we sponsored a luncheon where we were joined by 7 TPAs. We conducted a trivia game and had an I Love New York booth available as a home base for all our partners there to use. We do this at a number of trade shows. The TPAs that are there working love having a big central booth to have meetings and do promotions through. Coming up next month, we will be partnering again with New York City Tourism and Conventions at IMEX America in Las Vegas. We will have 5 partners from New York State joining us to conduct appointments there. So that's the trade show world. Earlier this summer, I Love New York held its first joint media and trade global FAM trip to promote the Erie Canal and the upcoming bicentennial, as well as other must-see places around the state. We've obviously done FAMs for years, but this was the first time that we brought together multiple countries at the same time, rather than doing it country-specific. 21 journalists and tour operators from our 4 key markets of Canada, UK, Germany, and Australia traveled to Syracuse, Watkins Glen, Rochester, Niagara Falls, and Buffalo. Some of the results of this trip include a new UK itinerary with tour operator Trips Beyond, so that's why we do it, to get sold to their customers. coverage in The Sun, and coverage in UK-based publication, The Travel Magazine. We'll be seeing more results of the FAM through the year and report back to you on that. Next week, we'll be hosting a fall receptive domestic FAM. Over the course of 6 days, our travel trade team will be bringing 7 domestic tour operators and receptives to visit New York City, the Hudson Valley, the Finger Lakes, and Central New York to experience diverse attractions, accommodations, and bookable opportunities. This is pretty significant. We've had international FAMs. We've had domestic press FAMs. This may be, if not one of our first domestic trade FAMs, where we're bringing domestic tour operators to New York State. And this is part of our new travel trade program that you've heard me talk about over the last couple of years, that we did that internationally, but we really didn't focus on the travel trade here in New York, here in the United States as much. And now we have the opportunity to do that. This fall, I Love New York will be hosting a fall harvest global FAM in the Finger Lakes, Hudson Valley, and Thousand Island regions. The group, consisting again of both tour operators and media, will be experiencing all things fall and culinary in these regions. And each participating country will have the opportunity to invite 4 tour operators and 4 media. We're also planning a B2B reception for the TPAs to have a chance to meet and network with the international guests. The idea is if we can't bring them all over the state, and you really can't, that would take 20 days, right? That for the areas we're not going to, there'll at least be an evening reception where the TPAs from those other regions can come and meet with the people in the FAM. So that's our trade work. Want to talk about our public relations work. You may remember when we laid out our PR strategy back, I think, in January, we talked about a new approach this year of having not just big evening events for media, but having smaller, more intimate themed press events to complement one big, larger media night. So in August, as part of that strategy, we hosted 5 media members on a 2-day excursion along the Haunted History Trail in the Catskills and the Hudson Valley. So it was based in the Catskills and Hudson Valley in order to get journalists from New York City to attend easily, but it focused on the whole state and the Haunted History Trail, and in fact, all things fall in New York State. The itinerary brought journalists on a tour of different locations in the region. We then hosted a dinner at Resorts World Catskills, where myself, along with representatives from Central New York, the Catskills, and the New York State Haunted History Trail, dined with attendees and shared more about the state's seasonal offerings. Then the highlight after dinner was a nighttime paranormal investigation at the very haunted Shanley Hotel, where we experienced some spooky occurrences. If you'd like to hear more, catch me later. I will just say there were motion sensors going off and balls moving and things. Very interesting. This has already resulted in some great media coverage, including a ghostly guide to upstate New York in Condé Nast Traveler. You can see it there, right? To be able to do an event like this, get that kind of exposure in Condé Nast, that's why we do these things. So we're excited about that. We've also received some great earned media TV coverage. In May, I joined Good Day New York hosts to showcase easy and affordable travel options in upstate New York, perfect for summer getaways. And during the segment, I was able to share insights on activities throughout the state, including the upcoming Erie Canal Bicentennial, the 2025 season at Saratoga Race Course, and adventuring in the Adirondacks. Here we'll show you some of that clip.
Well, looking for a quick escape from outdoor adventures to historic towns and waterfront views, the Empire State is packed with easy getaway options.
Whether you're chasing scenery, history, or just a little R&R, you may want to head upstate. Ross Levi is the executive director of the New York State Division of Tourism. He joins us now with several reasons we should all love New York. Good to see you, Ross. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, great to be here.
Hey, let me ask before we get going. I love New York. I remember that slogan from when I was a kid. How long has it been around?
It's going to be coming up on 50 years in just a couple of years. It's been around a long time.
Well, it obviously works, and there's reasons to love New York, and most people think New York City, but when you're in the city, sometimes you need to go upstate, and you said there are plenty of places people go.
Oh, yeah. And the great thing about vacationing in New York State is it's so easy, right? From New York City, you're just a few hours away from world-class things. Just a few hours north of the city, for example, is Saratoga Springs, which is known first and foremost probably for its race course. It's the oldest sporting venue in America.
Yes.
This year it's going to be running the Belmont Stakes because of the construction happening out in Long Island. It goes into a July 4th racing season, then it's regular season. So basically there's racing all summer. And in addition to that, you can go to discover history at the Saratoga National Battlefield, Turning Point of the Revolution. Get ready for America 250, which is next year. You can see great performing arts at the Saratoga Performing Arts Center, an outdoor amphitheater, music under the stars. And of course, at Saratoga Springs, you can take those springs. You can go to the Roosevelt Spa and take those naturally effervescent waters.
It's just a cool little town. You can take the train up there, you can drive up there. It's really easy and not expensive at all.
No, it's great. There's a great main street. It's been rated one of the
You
best
get the
main
idea.
streets.
It was about a 4-minute segment or so.
I think it was
Yeah, we
almost
actually
6
got a lot of
minutes.
time.
Yeah.
6, I'm being
I think it
told.
was 6.
So yeah, we were great. And as far as I know, we haven't been on Good Day New York before. So this was congratulations to our firm MMGY and Lisa Soto that we were able to get that break. I also joined WPIX Channel 11's morning show a few weeks ago in August to talk about last-minute summer weekend getaways in upstate New York. So I was able to talk about the State Fair and concerts at Jones Beach and the Hudson Valley Ramble events and Taconic State Park's National S'mores Day event. As always, we love to get the word out through these broadcast opportunities, so we were happy to be able to do them. Wanted to mention, of course, that our tourism grants continue to do work. We mentioned in May that the 2025 REDC initiative launched and included $7 million in grants through the Market New York program for tourism-related marketing and working capital projects. So that launched earlier in the year. Applications closed on July 31st. So now I can report to you that we received over 100 applications requesting over $25 million. So putting that math together, $7 million available, $25 million requested. So that shows you that this is a very competitive program. Applications are currently being scored now, and awards will be announced later in the year. And as always, if you have any questions on Market New York, we encourage TAC members to let people know that this funding is available. The state wants to fund great tourism marketing and working capital projects. This can include special events, et cetera, et cetera. This cycle's closed, but if all goes well, and as past years, we'll hopefully launch again this spring. So information is available on ilovenewyork.com/marketny. The last piece of our look back, I wanted to mention about our industry work that we've done, that we have been doing and will be doing. This weekend, I Love New York will be attending the Nestia Tourism Excellence Awards. It's actually earlier in the week, the Thursday it starts. The Nestia Tourism Excellence Awards and Summit in Lake George, where I will be reprising my role as co-presenter for the industry awards. My colleague Jess Pulver will provide a run-through of the I Love New York America 250 calendar and webpage. And Danae Jones-Persip will again be presenting the Emerging Leader Award at that award ceremony. As a reminder for everybody, the World Canals Conference comes to Buffalo in just a few weeks, being held in conjunction with the Erie Canal Bicentennial. The I Love New York experiential team will be in attendance with the I Love New York pod tour to promote travel across the state, whether that's on this trip or hopefully getting canal lovers to come back for a future trip. TAC members are also welcome to attend. More information is available at WCC2025buffalo.com. Or you could just Google World Canals Conference Buffalo. The Canals Conference will also be hosting a pre- and post-conference tours that are encouraging folks for the conference to come early, come for the conference, stay for New York. The tours are open to all conference attendees as well as to the general public. One tour is spanning 5 days, beginning in New York City, traveling across the state, and then ending in Buffalo the day before the conference. So this is a great way to promote travel in conjunction with the conference. These two opportunities help showcase all that New York State has to offer folks traveling in from around the globe for the conference. And we are pleased to say both tours are already sold out. So it worked, and we got people coming to experience New York State as part of the conference. That's looking back. That's everything we've been up to since the last TAC meeting. I did tease some things that are coming up as well, but I also want to mention, of course, that as we close the door on summer, I Love New York is already hard at work at fall. The famed I Love New York Fall Foliage Report launches tomorrow, Wednesday, and then a new one is issued every Wednesday thereafter throughout the fall season. I, for the first time, am an official leaf spotter for New York State. I got my report in late last night in the hotel room, so excited to be part of that. The reports are accompanied by, as you remember, our interactive foliage map on ilovenewyork.com, recommending prime viewing locations, examples of peak foliage in designated areas, and then information about attractions, places to go to actually experience this and experience the foliage and turn it into a real getaway. The report is just part of our integrated fall marketing campaign, including our seasonal website switchover, fall social media posting, and multiple fall themes blogs. We are also excited about the upcoming Ryder Cup golf competition taking place this fall at Bethpage Black on Long Island, and we are utilizing the event to promote travel throughout New York State. So this, you're going to hear about it at the next TAC meeting, but just as a sneak preview, some of the things we're doing, including I Love New York activations on site, showing off great destinations across New York State, hosting international trade partners for a golf-themed FAM tour taking place in conjunction with the tournament. So we have foreign tour operators coming to take a tour and then attend the event as well. And our fall commercial, my notes said will be coming to television across our state in drive markets, but we're happy to say hot off the presses, some people saw it this morning. So we don't want you to have to wait any further. We'll show you the first of our fall commercials.
Fall in New York State is unforgettable. From breathtaking views in every hue to adventure around every corner. It's the perfect place to get away. But don't just take our word for it. Come and see it for yourself. New York State, everything you love. Plan your next trip at iloveny.com.
I love fall.
It's your month, it's your season.
So anything further on that?
No, just on Ryder Cup, Ross mentioned we're going to be having a lot of consumer-facing activations, industry pieces there. It's a worldwide event, and it's happening on state property. It's at Bethpage State Park. So it's one of those events where if you're in the golf world, you know the enormity of Ryder Cup. It's one of those events, as it gets closer, it's 2.5 weeks away, even if you're not a golf person, you're going to start feeling it. The press is picking it up. The whole world is going to be looking at, this is not just a typical PGA Championship or a US Tour event. The world is looking at this. So for 3 days, worldwide coverage, NBC focusing on Bethpage State Park in New York. So there's a lot going on there. And we're actually doing a fall spot, we'll show you next time, where it's in conjunction with this fall campaign, but it's a version specific to run during Ryder Cup play. So we'll be featuring Bethpage State Park, something along the lines of, what you're watching right now, you can actually book a trip to New York and play there. Very few, almost probably no sport event, you can't watch the Super Bowl and then play on that field the next week. You can't watch the World Series. You can watch the Ryder Cup, and a month from now, you can book a trip and, what is it, $70, $75, I think, to play? You could play on the same course. So it's a pretty big thing for people who don't realize that. So we're taking we're partnering very closely with the PGA, and the team's been working on this for over a year. So we're excited that it's coming up, and it's unbelievable that it's here already. So more to follow next time on how all that went.
So we look forward to talking to you all again in November about not only the Ryder Cup, but all the fall activities.
Great. Well, thank you, Ross and team. That was amazing. And Rich, if you book that trip for the Ryder Cup, for Bethpage Black, there are 4 other courses that might be a little bit easier to play. Bethpage Black is one of the toughest courses in the country. It requires you to walk. You're not even allowed to take a cart. And it just is fantastic.
There's a famous warning sign.
Yes.
That's not ironic. It says warning.
Yes.
This is recommended for a golfer of a certain level. People take pictures in front of it. Unfortunately, for the Ryder Cup, they're building the stadium seating around where that sign normally is. So we've created a photo op.
Of that sign?
You should be able to, you can take a picture in front of it. We'll show you pictures next time, but that's that sign was not done in jest or with any level of irony. It's literally a warning sign saying hazardous to your health if you're a golfer.
It is, yeah. Well, it's up and down. And then there's Bethpage Red, which is the second toughest, and that you can take carts, but that is a very thrilling
They're all
course,
great
too.
world-class courses.
They're both world-class, and so are the other 3. But I trust you've tried them out.
I've been there, but the nice part is it goes from the beginning course on the yellow, and you can play any level of course in terms of what you want. Yellow, green, blue, red, black.
Right.
It's a great layout.
So, well, we wish you the best with that, and we look forward to being updated at the next TAC meeting, which, by the way, is on November 17th. But before I close out the meeting, I wanted to open it up to TAC members if you have any comments, questions, notifications. And also, Mike Oates is here. I just wanted, for the record, Rhiannon, if you can notice that he's here. Thanks. Olga?
Well, two things I just wanted to report on my end. My client, while we're still here, by the way, they did submit a Market New York proposal. They did the Harlem Markers Project, and they're the purple markers that signify where somebody, either an individual, an initiative, or an event happened throughout. And so all of our 23 of the 25 signs have already been installed. And this, a couple of months ago, we launched an app. And we also had a sort of a test bus tour with people, and we actually had performers like in front of the Coleman Hawkins sign. As the bus came up, there was someone playing the sax and then told the story of Coleman Hawkins, and we had a couple of different things like that. Also, this Friday, I'm on the board of NYS, and I'm the chair of the DEAI committee, and I'm giving a presentation on our project that we're doing for New York State 250 called Untold Stories. And so I'm talking about some of the stories that we're going to be telling of people of color, people with disabilities, women, AAPI, people within history throughout the 250 years, not only from the Revolutionary War, but also the Civil Rights Movement, the Civil War, and the Harlem Renaissance. And so thus far, our committee we've collected over nearly 60 stories to tell, and we're putting it together in a little book. I'm not going to tell all 60 stories. I'm only going to tell about 6 at the meeting on Friday in the form of a presentation. But you will be able to see some extra stories because we'll have a QR code on every table where you can actually go and see. And so we're partnering with a few other people, including Lake George.
That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Natasha, I see you have your hand up.
Hi. Thank you. I think I'm frozen. Hello, everyone. I'm so sorry that I'm not there in person, but I also will be at NYS, and Friday's schedule is all about the 250th. So in addition to Olga's presentation, I'll be joined with Saratoga. We'll be talking about a lot of the local events we're doing. I know Devin Lander will also be with us. Ross, I look forward to seeing you. So we will be there supporting and thinking about that 250th. But I do want to add that September 27th and 28th here in Westchester County in the Hudson Valley at Croton Point Park is the fantastic, amazing, immersive 2-day experience of 250th. It is RevFest 250th. It is part of our Rooted in Westchester program initiative through 2026 that is supported by that Market New York grant. And I just want to add that those applications is competitive, Ross, but really once we are working hand in hand with you, there is just a lot of good that comes through it and being inclusive and bringing not only Westchester, but we will have regional partners there. We'll have a main stage programming from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., including Indigenous Enterprise leaving their schedule from New York City, coming up to Westchester, the West Band, West Point Fife and Drum. We'll have a family stage. We'll have a living history section, a really hands-on tactical for families. And then on the other side of beautiful Croton Point Park will be battle reenactments. And all of that is scheduled on Visit Westchester NY/250. And I look forward. We do have a hotel partner, Windrose, so make it a weekend here in Westchester. It's beautiful. Thank you so much.
Great work, Natasha. Best of luck to you on that. Any others? I can only see the 4.
Christina, I
Yes,
just
Dan.
have one quick thing. Next week, we'll have our industry meeting for New York State. So all the skiers will be gathering in Western New York next Monday and Tuesday. Okay. And a lot of our initiatives are talking about how we can create more robust snowmaking systems as well as make them more efficient, because obviously that's the lifeblood for us in the wintertime.
Right. So we will hope for snow for you.
Yes,
Okay.
for cold weather.
Yes. Very good. I don't normally like that, but I will for you. Yeah. Happy
You're
to.
special.
Okay.
I thought I'd mention we had the New York State tour, experiential tour at the Lucille Ball Comedy Festival for our block parties this year, which was great. They were incredibly active. Brought a lot of people because we had Jon Stewart sold out, as well as Bill Murray and his band, but it was great to team up with I Love New York for that. And also the IPW, so we were happy to be a co-sponsor of the Second City event
Yes,
as well.
I should have mentioned that.
No, that's fine.
Gary joined me from the stage at our Second City event, and they helped make it possible to have that evening event. It was a really great, comedy's kind of becoming New York's brand. We're doing it now at a number of different trade shows. So to be able to do it with Second City, with the Comedy Center, thank you for helping us.
Yeah, no, that was, and we're now looking for a comedian for Ontario Motor Coach, so I think that's the next one.
Maybe Ross could.
My side hustle.
He's much better at it than I am.
So before I conclude, Steve is going to take us on a tour, and I know obviously our friends on Zoom will not be able to join us, but I thought you might want to give them some highlights to whet their appetite so that maybe they can come back.
Oh, my goodness.
Or Sarah.
Where do we even begin? Let's see here. Well, first Wegmans, of course, right?
Okay,
So we do have, it's a Wegmans supermarket that was established here about 28 years ago. It's been through multiple updates. It is a true shopping experience for people of all sizes, if you want to go through. And one of the things that people may not know is that we're actually considered a store in the Wegmans corporate network. And when they did a refresh of the store a year and a half ago, they counted it on the corporate network as a rebrand or as a reopening of a store. And if you go, and we only have child and family-friendly products there, but we hold adult-only happiest hours here 4 times a year, where we do sell alcoholic products. If you happen to take a canned alcoholic product with a UPC on it and scan it, it pops up on the register tape because it goes back to the Wegmans store network. So we've discovered that. Some of our enterprising guests discovered that. Sesame Street, if you like Sesame Street, we were the first presence Sesame Street had outside of their television studios when they created the set here about 28 years ago again. And then to our most recent exhibits, if you look into our expansion that opened a little more than 2 years ago, we have a beautiful grand World Video Game Hall of Fame, where we talk about that. A beautiful exhibit that goes through the history of that, has a Women in Games trail, talk about women's contributions through video games. National Toy Hall of Fame, I can go, got about 30 minutes.
The largest playable Donkey Kong.
Largest playable Donkey Kong, where it required the head of Senior Vice President of Operations for Nintendo in America flew to Japan to get the president of Nintendo to sign off on the IP rights for that. So it is a unique and marvelous place, and there's truly something for everyone here.
And it starts at the airport.
It starts at the airport.
I love free Pac-Man and free Donkey Kong.
We did partner with Monroe County, and we have, there's 2 concourses at the Rochester Airport. One side represents the National Toy Hall of Fame. The second side represents the World Video Game Hall of Fame, so there's there. And we actually have a new contract with the county to expand the National Toy Hall of Fame. So we'll be introducing newer interactives, focus on flight. That'll be happening and opening in the early part of 26.
And the induction for the Toy Hall of Fame is?
The induction for Toy Hall of Fame is November.
Early November.
Are we doing that on a?
Toy Hall is early November, and World Video Game Hall of Fame induction is in early May.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Are we announcing that on a morning show this year?
We sure hope we are, Steve.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if you had any news. So last year it was announced on the Today Show. The prior year we announced it live on Good Morning America. And so we're hopeful. We're moving around.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well.
So that's fun.
So we have to keep our fingers crossed for snow and for the national coverage.
And for a little good PR juju.
So many other things. Okay, so our next meeting is on Monday, November 17th at 11 a.m. And I apologize for the change in the time and appreciate the patience many of you had. So I just need a motion to close. It is at 1:04, I have to say the time. So Olga, thank you. And Dan second. So appreciate your time, folks, for joining us on the Zoom.
Have a great day.
Strong here. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yes.